Let's get good. This is Endless Space 2, and we are playing as the virtual worshipping saints, the Vodyani. When we last left off, we were taking all of our old military ships and repurposing them so that they could become security for all of our trade routes. We've managed to clear a couple of those routes, not all of them though. We're still seeing quite a few blockades show up. And what's curious to me is that none of them, there's still no blockade that I can see that goes through here. But it's weird because, when it talks about blockaded routes, it actually shows, specific routes. It's, from here to, say, over here. So I'm not sure exactly how that all factors out. It'd be nice if we could see, each route sort of separated out with a different color or something like that. But for now, this will have to do. Okay. We do have an extra arc here. I believe this is meant to colonize a new system. The question is, where were we going to send it? It is all fitted for production. And I believe we had somewhere in mind for it. I can't remember where we were going to send that, though. Were we going to trade, or were we going to send it down here to, Zakor and see if we could peacefully convert Zakor? Well, we're definitely not going to Primus with it. Oh, I think we were going to send it over and try to, take a Sophon system when we were at war with them, but now that's not so much... Oh, Junder. Junder's a thing. Although now it looks like the Riftborn have also settled there. I wonder if we can... What in the world was that, cat? Cats are getting into stuff. I wonder if we can send it over here to Junder and just go ahead and flip Junder over real quick. That would be a nice, convenient way for us to grab that system. The Riftborn are here. They'll be done in 2 turns. We'll be there first. I wonder if us putting our arc down will basically ruin their colonization effort. Oh, that is not the Riftborn. That is the Lumeris. That is the Lumeris. Okay. So that is a different story entirely. We are going to need some backup there for our arc. We are at peace with the Lumeris right now. So that makes this situation even more interesting, because we may have to fire on our peaceful people in order to ensure that we capture Junder, but we do have an extra arc, so we're going to do it. I don't have any qualms shooting at the Lumeris. If they get mad, they want to break the peace, that's fine. I wonder if we can even shoot at them when we're at peace. Actually, because we're religious, I am not 100% sure, but I think we might be able to. No, that's only Cold War. That's only Cold War, so we may just lose that system, in which case I don't know what we do with that new production arc. It's kind of just stuck hovering. We could trade somebody for another system, though. That's an idea. We could trade for Rassam. Trading for Rassam is actually not a bad idea. It helps us sort of establish that trade route that we're trying to grow anyway. Phaeton here has been recently taken by the Lumeris. That was a Sophon system. Don't know that I want to trade with the Lumeris for a system. We could try. I just don't think that they'd be very inclined to give us one of their systems, considering the way that things have gone with them up until this point. Let's see. What do we want to do on Empire with this guy? Do you even have it on Empire left? If you don't... Really don't. There's that. There's production and food. We'll take that. Scales Galena is almost done. Burra Tech Seeker has gained enough experience to reach level 18. Lovely Burra Tech Seeker. Let's see what we want to give you. Go up here, we get a little bit less dust cost. I like that. Let's go for less dust cost. We could get science there too, but dust cost makes more sense, given that we are barreling towards the dust victory here. Yes, we just finished a dust maker on Wyrix and sent that on over there. Hopefully we'll be able to snatch Junder from them. Probably not, though, so we'll just send it on to Rassam and trade for Rassam. Only this time, before we trade for Rassam, we're going to absolutely make sure that our arc is there and that they don't basically rip us off again. Because that was shady. That was super shady. Okay, let's see. Production options here are pretty sizable. We could also take the system up a level. That's not a bad idea. And we could actually build another arc. I thought we just built an arc. If that's the case, we could build yet another arc. Or not an arc, I mean a behemoth. I think we just finished a behemoth on Sing, if I'm not mistaken. A second Econ behemoth. We did indeed. What are you doing? Okay, that is an econ. Are they both econs? Then why... I guess this is just an older econ that we could update to the same current econ. I wonder if it has slightly different weapons. It does have slightly different weapons. Okay. I was just curious because we kept seeing the upgrade thing there, and I was like, well, they seem to be the same, but... Now the question is it better to stack another econ there or to build one somewhere else? I think we'll probably just stack another econ here. I think that makes a lot of sense. We just make this one system generate copious amounts of dust. Okay. So with that underway, let's go up here and take a look at what we can potentially build and where. Come into Gistrid here, and we can purchase some stuff if we need to. 136k will actually get us careful sweeping, which is plenty, plus 25 dust per system level. Not going to be a huge advantage there. We may actually want to see if we can get careful sweeping somewhere else where it's a little bit more advantageous. Even a big production boost on one of these systems could be very, very powerful. So, for example, Shaft to Shelf is plus 100 per system level, plus 10 per strategic deposit. Where do we have the most strategic deposits? On Yetics here, we have a ton of strategic deposits, right? We have 3 different strategic deposits. We also have a level 4 arc and 4 population. So that's definitely a system to consider bumping with this, and I think we will. I think we'll do Shaft to Shelf here. We cannot afford to buy it out instantly. That's what I had hoped. I had hoped we could just buy it out and then it would be hilariously a lot of dust, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. So instead, let's look at where we can do anything else that might be as beneficial. For example, right here, we do want to do Holy Proliferation right now. Let's go ahead and put that at the top of the queue. In this system, doing Hazardous Mining Facility is 1 turn. I mean, we could... I wonder how much it would be to buy it out, though. 314k, wow. Okay, so not worth it. Plus 5 production per population per strategic deposit on planets. So we have 1 planet with strategic deposits, I'm assuming. Yes. And what that means is that we would essentially get... Why do we not see that? Oh, there's the pop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'd get 45 more production there, which would be 50% consumed. So we get maybe 20 more dust there. Not necessarily worth it. It's really not. Now, on a system like this one, where we have a bunch of planets with strategics, well, we have 2. 2 here, 2 here. Seems like 2 is about the maximum we're getting. Yeah, 2 here as well. So we can turn all those population into bigger producers. Once again, though, we're only going to get the benefits per planet that has strategics, so it's not really that great. I honestly think that the other improvement, the Shaft to Shelf, is a lot better, but it is a unique improvement. We only get to build it once. So, under that stature, we should probably go here to Wrath and build hazardous materials here. No, I mean, honestly, hazardous materials is like a win more at this point. It's not going to up our dust generation by that much, so if we may just be better off going with emergency labor. Yeah, I'm just going to leave emergency labor. Those are really nice for if you're going for more production, but in our case, we're so close. Like, we're so close right now. We're 145k off. We're generating 58k per turn. We're 3 turns out of just winning. So it doesn't really benefit us that much. Distributed energy here is better because it's plus 10% Fidzy, so that will increase our dust. So we'll let that one finish and maybe do some of those upgrades instead. Do want to make sure that nobody is doing nothing, though. Everybody should be doing something, and anybody that's not tier 4 and can be should be going up to tier 4. You cannot. We need Jadniks to do that. So we can go ahead and buy some Jadniks, or we could just dump our money into these to make even more money. I think that might be a better option, but before we do that, we should look at what we can sell just to generate even more dust to dump. It's 6. And then here we've got 50 we can dump. Here we've got 4 we can dump. 2. It's probably about it. Yeah, we don't want to dump the other stuff. We want to keep the other stuff. Don't really want to dump anything out of here. We're not generating it. Well, we could do adamantine here. Or antimatter, rather. 32. There we go. So with 281k, we can start dumping into these. Let's go ahead and dump here for level 5. Let's go level 5 there. And then I'm just going to go evenly across. Maybe we'll get another trading company. That would be really nice here. But we are already up to almost 60k here. Alright. Everybody's moving. Check where everyone's location is. You are probably okay here. Is there an actual siege going on? There is, and I think it's the He-Show that are sieging the Lumeris, but we're not able to attack because we already have this turn. Also, potentially because we're at peace with everyone, so we don't really want to, you know, push that too badly. Let's look at what we can get from diplomacy here. Diplomacy dust does not count towards the victory, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it does not. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Diplomacy dust I would expect to count. I understand why the marketplace dust does not count, because it's, you know, not as prone to inflation, and it's sort of the method of dodging inflation that is available to every faction. If you're playing the Lumeris, you can dodge inflation by using their shadow tax thing, but that's not something that's available to everybody. Yeah, we could not waste a point in happiness there, because that was a mistake. We could get influence here, we can get science, we can get more food. I'm gonna go for science.
You're one of our favorite fish in this galactic sea.
Oh, are we? Are we? Like a turn ago, I think you guys were getting salty with us, so make up your minds. It does not show us any blockade alerts this turn. We do still see that there are tons of blockades going on, though. Lovely. We're still making quite a bit of dust, I'm not going to complain, but, yeah. It's kind of weird that they're like, yeah, there's no like it didn't give us the blockade notifications. I wonder if it only does that when there's a new blockade, and maybe the blockades were not new this turn. I don't know, man. I don't know. The blockades have become like this really, really difficult thing to understand, in my opinion. I kind of am unable to tell what exactly is going on with those. Yeah, we're not going to be able to take this system. That's just not an option. I mean, we could. No, we can't. We can't do anything as far as taking that system goes. What we can do is come over here and then offer a trade to our dear Riftborn allies. Hi there, buddy.
Your hospitality is appreciated.
No. Your hospitality is appreciated, only this time don't rip us off. How about that? Rasum is the name of the system. Let's go ahead and...
Welcome. How may the Riftborn be of service this time?
You may trade us Rasum. Now, before you say no, look at these awesome techs we want to offer you. There we go. There we go. You want that trade.
We're happy you have agreed.
Yes, you want that trade. And we want that system. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so now that we have a system, we can start wholly prolifing here, doing all of our other interesting system upgrades. Did you guys do anything with this system? Why do you even have it? There's like no upgrades on it. Well, I guess it doesn't work that way, actually. If you think about it, because we're arc-bound, I wonder if we basically have to start from scratch every time we take a system, which wouldn't, like, that's not unfair considering that our systems can move. It's just something interesting to take into consideration. We're just going to buy out a bunch of the production here. Really no reason to wait on any of that stuff. We should also see about just buying out some of the dust generation. Although that's going to get a lot more expensive. Buying out dust is considerably more expensive. Oof, that's just a nice one. Okay, so we bought out a bunch of stuff there. We did put an arc down here, which is fine. We've got a fleet here to protect this burgeoning new system of ours. Production is happening everywhere. Yay. We should go take a look and see who needs more proliferation. Like these folks. Did we bump it down in the queue? We did on accident. That's fine. We'll put it up here. Just want to make sure we keep that where we can see it so we know that proliferation is happening there. Don't actually need proliferation here. People are growing fast enough. Everything else kind of looks okay. Yeah. I mean, we can just leave the rest. See where we're at dust-wise again, just because I'm curious. Oh, wow. Yeah, we might get there next turn. We really might. Especially with the amount of dust that we're now generating in addition from these. Let's go ahead and look at selling some more materials. In this case, we're so close that I'm just going to start dumping stuff. I mean, honestly, we could probably dump everything we have resource-wise this turn and use that to bump up our trade companies and, you know, win right there. So that's something I'm looking at right now. That's essentially what I'm trying to do here, because that will be the way to sew it all up. I'm actually, like, don't take this the wrong way, guys. I have enjoyed this series greatly, but I'm excited to see this end for one reason, because not so long ago, in the comments, somebody called me out about how they were loving all the Endless series, but I never finished them. And if you guys caught that comment, I promised. I was like, okay, I promise you this. We'll finish Nakalim, and when we're done with that, we will go back and we'll finish Vodyani. So this is going to be the second Endless series that I actually managed to finish, okay? So that's a point of pride for me. I'm actually doing it, guys. I'm actually doing it. Holy crap, we have 420k. Okay. 420k. Dump it there, dump it there. Just go all the way through all three of them, I think. Yeah. Alright, that only took us up to 68k. That's probably not enough. But I mean, let's do some math. Okay, so 60 is gonna be what? 940? Oh, that's enough. That's enough right there. This is it, folks. Are you ready to win the game? When we click this button, it should happen. This should be it. Oh, yeah. There we go. Only 16 minutes into this video, too. Okay, so this might be a short one. That is absolutely amazing. Pure and Aggressive Defense Treaty has achieved victory economy. So let's go to the score screen and take a look at that. It's always interesting to kind of get an idea when your faction was going. Oh, audio this time.
The supremacy of our faith has been revealed. For the old demons have been vanquished forever. We will rise virtual and create a new endless age where we are the gods.
Oh, she looked like an angel. She's the Angel of Essence. That's awesome. Okay, so we actually got audio on that this time. And now we can look like we jumped ahead on overall score probably around the turn that we decided to shift to Dust. Like, we really just outscored everyone at that point. Okay. So if we look at food, we're never ever going to be the ones generating the most food because we consume more of it with our population. Most powerful hero was God Eye. We had 39 explorations. Systems at max level were 10. Predominant policy was religion. Look at that. So our industry actually wasn't the highest. The Riftborn were ahead of us the entire game. So essentially by creating an alliance with them, we ensured that the two factions that had the best production and probably the best military and economic development because of it were together in a group, and that definitely helps us out. Dust-wise, we were far and above everybody for a very, very long time. Very long time. Like, it looks like about turn 60, we kind of took off, and then nobody else was keeping up. Science-wise, we kind of took off at about turn 70 here, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's probably about 70, 75. And once again, once we took off, nobody was able to keep up. And this is kind of the way that I like to play Endless, and it's kind of cool to see it, like, show in the graphs. It's all about scaling for me, so, like, we weren't the best in the beginning, and that's just not something we're gonna be. It's gonna be harder for us in the beginning than some other factions, depending on who we play. Like, if you're the Cravers, you should be ahead in the beginning. If you're not ahead in the beginning as the Cravers, you're doing something wrong. But that being said, I'm terrible with the Cravers. Like, can't play them at all. Anyways. But what you want to do is you do want to be building towards your strengths and then scaling out. And that's kind of what we did here. And you can see it. Like, we built towards our strengths, and around turn 60, we scaled out on almost everything. Like, that's around 60, that's around 75, that's around 60. Here, we really did outscale everyone except for the Riftborn around turn 60. So it looks like, really, turn 60 was when we kind of took off. Yeah. Turn 60 here for food, we honestly outscaled most other factions. And that's food, which we don't generate a lot of at all. Population-wise, we never outscaled anyone on population. We really didn't, but it's different with the Vodyani because you don't need to outscale them on population. Your population generates more resources anyway. Research-wise, we started outscaling people at turn 60. So now I'm really curious, like, if anybody wants to go back and check the videos and see what we were doing on turn 60, because that's where everything just went nuts, right? Like, that's what's curious to me, is what did we do on turn 60 that suddenly sent everything through the roof? Okay, trade. We didn't really outscale anyone until the very end because we didn't really focus on it until we were like, let's win the game. Approval-wise, we were not at the top at any point. I actually like to keep my approval pretty high, but in the case of the Vodyani, apparently it wasn't that necessary for us. It's crazy. Yeah, we were almost... Well, actually, at no point did we have 100% approval. Expansion-wise, we were probably one of the slowest. Now, you could say that's because of essence gains in the early game and stuff, and I mean, we do eventually outscale a couple of factions here expansion-wise, and by the end, we're pretty high up there as far as number of systems held. But at the same time, like, I'm also just slow at expanding. I'm not a big expander. I like to build out my systems instead, or build up my systems instead of build out. This is really cool. I like this. Heroes-wise, we totally scaled out at 60. That's why everything went up. That's why everything went up. So if you've ever had any doubt about the importance of having governors on all of your systems, that right there is the sign. Everything you've seen here is probably because that's the point when we started focusing on getting a bunch of governors. Governors make a huge, huge difference. They scale out all of your resources, and if you scale out all of your resources, that essentially allows you to scale out your actual presence in the galaxy. Military-wise, we didn't really scale out till turn 75. Turn 75 is when we got really militaristic, and it looks like it's right after the choir did, so the choir sort of got militaristic, and then we had our little tango, and then we militarized, and after that we were just the biggest military power in the game for the rest of the game. And that's what happens when you have a strong economy. You can be that. Anyways, that was incredible. Thank you guys for joining me on this awesome playthrough. I know that we had that bit in the middle where we just, weren't doing this playthrough. Thank you, person with the loud car that just drove by. And that was because Nakalim came out. I don't know what we'll do next. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next. I definitely wouldn't mind doing another choir playthrough. I know that I'm supposed to be doing tutorials, so I'm actually going to... probably, like, while I wait to give this a little time to resonate with the community and see what people want to see next, I'm probably going to just work on those. I'm making progress on it. I think today my focus is basically going to be on digging through the XMLs and trying to really piece together what the units of measurement are for hacking, because, like, when you're in game... When you're in game, you'll have a little number and it'll be like, 6.7 progress per turn and like 12 progress required to reach this next point. But there's no real barometer for what those numbers mean. Like, they exist and they're a comparative measure, but what they mean is something we don't really know offhand, like it's not given to us. So I figure if I dig through the XML, I might be able to find that, right? Like, if we dig through the XML and we find out that every faction's base hacking speed is like 6, and that every... I don't know, like, inch of star lane on screen. I don't know how they would even measure that, to be honest. But there's got to be some comparative measure for how much time it takes to hack a star lane. So, like, if it's, one system away, and it may be like that. It may be done by systems. It may be like, if a system is one system away, connected by a star lane, then it requires 60 meters or 60 units of hacking. And if the base speed is 6, then we can go, we know that takes about 10 turns. And that probably scales for game difficulty too. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to get the base speeds there so I can give you guys an idea of how to tell how long your hacks are going to take in the first place, whether or not that's going to give you enough time to get there before somebody hacks you back. Because what we do know is that if they trace you, they get to hack twice as fast back to the origin. So having exact units of measurement is important there, because if, for example, we know that our unit of measurement, our movement, is 6, and we're hacking a place that has a distance between it of 18. Well, that means that it's going to take them, if they're gaining 12, then they're going to get it in 2 turns. So if you're trying to get that hack and they trace you and you have more than 2 turns left, you should abandon it, right? Now, on the other hand, if instead of being a flat 18 away, that was like... Well, at that point, 6 times 4 would be 24. That would buy you 2 turns to finish the hack. Or would it? I mean, actually, you'd probably get caught there, but you'd finish the hack at the same time. Now, let's say, for whatever reason, instead of 24, let's use 24 as a metric to make it clearer. So you're hacking a system. You've got 2 turns left when they start the trace. Your hack speed was 6. The distance was 26. Well, we know that their hack speed would be 12 going back. So 2 turns will get them to 24. They'll still have 1 turn left when your hack finishes. That's what I'm trying to figure out, is stuff like that, so that I can give you guys the actual info. Anyways, that's something we'll talk about later. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!